What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 LT Trail Boss. This particular one, finished off in red hot, also has the Duramax engine. So we're gonna take a full look at this new truck. Also comes with a factory 2-inch lift kit. And then when we test drive the car and flip the cameras around to me, we're gonna unveil the MSRP and see if I think it's worth the price. Underneath the hood, this 2023 Silverado 1500 Trail Boss is going to feature the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder Duramax diesel engine. It pumps out 305 horsepower with 495 pound-feet of torque and is paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. Overall curb weight is around 5,200 pounds and it runs on a 24-gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 21 miles per gallon in the city with 23 out on the highway. And then this truck can even tow 9,000 to 12,000 pounds depending on if you have the Pro Trailer package, and it also has payload capacity at 1,800 pounds. For the crew cabin short bed, overall length is 232.9 inches with wheelbase at 147.4. Width is 81.1 with height of 78.4, and then ground clearance is 10.8 inches. And then now moving on to the exterior styling with the Trail Boss Chevy Silverado. This is a really cool looking truck, especially with the factory 2-inch lift kit. Starting up front, we have a really nice set of LED headlights. I love that amber color, and when you hit unlock, you can see how it does that really cool little dance with the light, and then you get all the lights turning on. You even get the Chevy logo on the far side. Really good design all the way around, even including the LED fog lights in the bumper. You can see this massive grille finished off in gloss black with a blacked out bow tie for the Chevy logo, and then a lot of areas for air to enter and cool down the radiators. You get the Z71 badge, some more body color down below, then a gloss black front bumper. You can also see the red metal tow hooks, and then they plug in the side for the engine warmer, and it has a really good look overall. I like just how bold it is. And then if we make our way to the hood, you can see just how large it is with that gloss black section in the center to let you know we got the Duramax. You can see the logo on the side and a really cool bold design with the raised portion right in the center. The front end really comes together nicely on the Trail Boss, and then as we make our way to the side, you can see that Z71 badge, really sharp lines throughout this front fender. And then I like the 18-inch gloss black wheels with a 5-spoke design, as well as these Goodyear all-terrain tires. You can also see gloss black for the mirror caps and all gloss black surrounding the windows as well as the door handles. Down below that, we get a powder-coated black set of running boards that have a very off-road focused design, and you also get a pretty sharp line in the lower portion of these doors. Towards the bed, you can see a sharp line cutting through the entire side profile with a sharp line around the rear wheel. Of course, you're going to get that Trail Boss badge in back. And then being the shorter bed, crew cab has a really proportional design, and you can really tell it has that lift kit, especially from the side profile. I really like how everything comes together for the Silverado. It's a very proportional looking truck with nice sharp lines. And then as we make our way in back, you can see the red LED taillights with a very good design sunken into the bodywork. And then we have a gloss black bumper with a step on each side, as well as an integrated dual exhaust system. You get your trailer hitch right in the center with all the connections by the license plate. We get the Silverado badge on the left side, as well as a blacked out Chevy bow tie. There's a backup camera along with an LED light, and then your LT logo is on the far side. Now this Silverado has the Multi-Flax Tail Gate, which by far is the best tailgate in the game. You have 2 different buttons right here. If you press the lower button, it acts like a traditional tailgate. It opens with a nice soft open. You can also do this from the key fob or the button you'll see on the interior. Now from here, you actually have a built-in bed extender. I can lift this piece up. Really good if you're hauling 2x4s or something in it to where you want that built-in extension piece. And then from there, all you have to do is reach under and grab the higher button. When you tap that one, this piece was going to lower down. So if you have items in the bed, it makes it a little bit easier to grab things. And then that bed extender now turns into a step. So when we open this, we have a fantastic step to get in and out of the bed. And you even have a grab handle that you can lift up if needed. But another really cool feature, if you just go ahead and grab the corner and lift this up and lock it into place, and you can either keep this up or put it down, use this as a workbench, you can really do anything in this truck. If you're going to be using this as a work truck in any shape or form, this tailgate by far is just the best one to get. And then now with the key fob, we can move on to the interior. We get buttons for remote start as well as the tailgate. And then if we go ahead and lock the truck, I can go ahead and just leave the key fob in my pocket and grab the door handle. You can press that button to lock or unlock it. We can check out this interior. So we're gonna get a black fabric interior. You're gonna see a little bit of wood trim as well as silver accents all throughout it. If we go ahead and move to the door panel, finish off all in black, you can see that wood color material up top, as well as a brushed aluminum color for the release handle, lock and unlock, some more trim, then some good padding for the armrest with some nice stitching design. We have our grab handle, window controls and mirror controls, and quite a lot of storage down below. You can see the Z71 along the all-weather floor mats, and then all of your power controls for the driver's side. Passenger seat is manual controlling. Then you can see the black fabric with some stitching, a cool textured design in the center, as well as a lighter gray color for the sides. Makes its way up all the way towards the headrests. Then we get a nice black leather steering wheel with silver trim and a blacked out Chevy bow tie. And then now inside the Trail Boss, keeping my foot on the brake, we can just press the start button. The diesel engine will turn on. We can take a look at this interior and all the technology. You can see we have a massive gauge cluster right in the center. You can see the display on the left side for your speed as well as your tach on the right, and you can configure this using the controls on the right side of the steering wheel. So right now if I use this and just scroll up and down, you can see quite a lot of information that's going to come up. We've actually been getting much better MPG than this truck is even rated at. We have all sorts of different things for driver's assistance, different vitals within the truck. Then if I go ahead and go back, you can go into display layout, go through all different types of designs. You have a classic one you can view. You can go down into a more digital design, and then you can even clean it up and get pretty much all of this out of the way. So I really like the way they've done this for just how nice everything is laid out on this digital screen. You can also configure all sorts of different sections within the screen that you can see, so you really get all sorts of information. Then you can scroll left and right and see even more things that will come up throughout the screen with navigation, phone, and things like that. If we take a look at the steering wheel now, we have a few of the voice controls on the right for your phone integration, heated steering wheel, your forward collision, as well as all the cruise control settings. And then on the back side, you even have all of your radio as well as volume controls. And up top, you can see these paddle shifters, which is a cool touch to help you maintain your gear. On the left stalk, we have all the windshield wiper controls as well as your turn signal. And then on the far left side, we have a dome light for the tailgate, all the headlight controls, your drive mode selector. You can just toggle this left and right. You just get a normal mode as well as the off-road mode. Then we have all the four-wheel drive controls, electronic parking brake, a little bit of piano black running around this gauge cluster, then some black material up on top with storage above the nav screen. You can see on the far right side, you get more of this leather type material. This is a secondary glove box, opens nicely. You have a lot of space in there. Then the normal glove box down below that is a pretty large bucket, as you would expect. You can see more of that wood trim as well as some silver. And then you get this massive touchscreen display. The new infotainment system in the Chevys is super nice. You can see we have two different screens right now. You can have navigation on the right side along with that clock. You have different settings along the left side you can see for all of your trailering. You have this one right here. You can see Bluetooth information, the full screen navigation with all of the Google Maps. Then you have all of your audio controls as well you can control. Then the home menu down below. You have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all of your camera systems, and then climate controls as well. Going into cameras, you can see that rear view backup camera with your guidelines, as well as this one right here to help you line up a trailer hitch. Then if we go over and go into the climate controls, you can see how everything is laid out in a very simple way. Then underneath the screen, you're going to see different toggles for the engine start stop, lane keeping, and tailgate, as well as traction control and downhill assist. And then we do get physical climate controls as well, with their own LCD screen for the temperature readout, heated seats, all of your different zones and fan speed. You get two USBs on the right side, and then a volume and a home button over on that left side. We have some storage down below, along with two cup holders and even extra storage space, a nice design on the shifter, and then wireless phone charging down below in the center. There's a little bit of storage on the left side. Then you can see more of this black leather material. If we open this up, we have a removable tray with a lot of space in it, and then even more space here with a 3-prong as well as 2 more USB ports. And then up on the ceiling, you can see your dome lights as well as the OnStar, a nice rear view mirror, and then pretty large sun visors. And then moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, the rear door panel is finished off just like we saw up front with all the same materials and designs. Then this can seat 3 people back here with the bench row. There is no center armrest. However, these headrests do fold down if you press that button. Then you can grab the bases of these and lift them up. They're gonna lock into place, and you get a ton of floor space now to really use this as a utility vehicle. We also have storage on the back side of all the front seats. Then you can see your different climate vents with 2 USBs and then cup holders up in front. So then sitting in the backseat of the Silverado crew cab, this is a pretty roomy truck. At 5'11", I have several inches of headroom and then a really good amount of knee room and foot room. Good armrests, a lot of glass. Unfortunately, the LT, this doesn't have that many options, so we just have a fixed piece of glass back there, no opening windows, no panoramic roof or anything fancy like that. I will say the base of the seats seem a little short. My leg is overhanging like 3 or 4 inches, so they could be a little bit bigger. The recline is decent, they don't recline, and of course that center armrest is missing. So you're sacrificing a little bit with this trim level not being a higher trim level with those extra features. So it's a decent back seat. I wouldn't say it's the best in its class, at least for this particular spec. I've been in other Silverados and it's a perfectly nice truck. However, this particular one, it's lacking just a little bit. All right, so we are setting off now in the Trail Boss Duramax. Of course, naturally, we're gonna start off on a little bit of a trail just to test out the all-terrain tires a little bit. Big truck to navigate little trails. However, any sort of dirt or something, this thing can do quite a lot, especially with 4-wheel drive and the off-road mode. But the suspension definitely tackles bumps nicely. It's a pretty comfortable truck actually to be in. And if I just go back into normal mode, getting back up to some speed, the torque in this thing is pretty sweet. Right up to speed, super nicely. It's an effortless power plant. I really like it, and the 10 speed really does a good job delivering all that torque and power, and it makes it feel like just a normal, comfortable truck. If you're going up a steep hill or something, it's effortless. That's one thing I love with diesels, is that low-end power under 3,000. It can just do anything. As far as some normal things, you have a really good view out of the front with a huge windshield. The hood is massive. That gloss black section in the center that's raised, you can clearly see it. It does look pretty cool. It's nice and bulky. However, you still have a pretty good view. All the mirrors do a great job as well. And then visibility, as you would expect, is really nice over your left and right shoulder. I'm glad you can put those rear headrests down. That just makes it a lot better. The interior tech is really nice to use as well, and it's a pretty nice place to be. The tires, while they're great for off-road, and obviously you're buying the Trail Boss because you're probably gonna be tackling off-road circumstances, they're a little on the noisy side as far as road driving. We've been on the highway with this, things like that. You can hear them, not to say it's crazy annoying or anything like that. However, you are aware that you are on off-road tires. So that's one thing you're gonna notice with the Trail Boss. However, like I said, it's nothing too crazy. Brakes do a good job. This is a big truck. However, it comes down to a stop really well, and then getting back up to speed once again. I like the sound of the diesel as well. It just has that Duramax sound, and it's nice how you can get it in the 1500. You don't always have to step up to a 2500 to get a diesel. While it's a significantly different motor, of course, it still feels like it, of course, with towing and things like that. If you max it out, I mean, you can tow a really good amount, and this is going to tow way better than a normal V8 or a twin turbo V6. So I think this honestly is a really cool engine option for those of you getting a 1500. However, you're going to use it for the utility. If you're going to be on the job site with a truck like this and use it for the daily driving, the family stuff, this is a pretty versatile spec. All right, so flipping the cameras around to my perspective, going over train tracks, the suspension is so good. It really takes bumps like nothing. So with that said, the price on this particular truck is $65,000. So do I think this Trail Boss Duramax is worth 65 grand? Yes and no. I think overall the Silverado is a solid truck, one of the best, if not the best, in the current game. I've become a really big fan of what GM has done, especially after they've come out with this tailgate and then now this interior. It's a really good truck. However, this particular spec, I could not see spending 65 grand getting cloth seats. It just feels cheap having fabric. I just don't like it. Most people probably agree with that. I'm sure there are people who do prefer the cloth over the leather. Hopefully the leather option is genuine leather, or at least really good vinyl. but I could not spec this with cloth seats. Also, no sunroof, the lack of automatic windows, only the driver's is automatic, a manual seat, no armrest in the back seat. Stuff like that is kind of missing from this truck to justify $65,000. If this was under 60 spec like this, I would say spot on, especially with this motor, the lift kit, the wheels, the tailgate, stuff like that. But I don't know, I think it's just maybe like $5 grand overpriced for this particular spec. Overall though, I think the Silverado is worth the money because you can of course spec them from way cheaper to even more expensive, and I think you can get an amazing truck. I love the Duramax. I've done a lot of towing with like 7,000 pound boats. I've towed with a Silverado 2500 HD and a 2500 gas truck, and the diesel is just so much better. You barely got to give it any throttle. Powering up mountain hills with a heavy boat, it's nothing. With the gas truck, it's redlining, shifting, it's awful. So I feel like a truck like this, if you're going to be using it to tow even a 7,000 pound boat, I feel like the diesel is just going to do it so much better than if you just opt for the normal V8. And I think what they really should do is give the Trail Boss a unique interior. I drove a Ram Rebel a long time ago, and I believe they all come with a unique interior to the Rebel. The one I was in had like red trim, red leather stitching, stuff like that. And it was a cheaper truck than a Laramie and other higher trims. So it was really cool to see the Rebel have something special to it. The Trail Boss, it's kind of a budget ZR2, I would say. However, they could give you something a little bit more special than realistically just the lift kit tires and the sticker on the back. There's nothing particularly special about it. So I would like to see something on the interior telling me that I bought a special trim level aside from just seeing the sticker on the back. That's the one thing I think they could do for the Trail Boss. Give it its own brand name, give it something unique about it. And I think at the same price, if it had a cooler seating material, a few of those extra little amenities, spot on. So overall, Chevy Silverado, I love the Duramax engine. Really good ride quality. The interior is really nice, easy to use. The truck overall, I think they're doing a great job. GM just is making awesome trucks, and I love how easy everything is to use, how usable the tailgate is, how usable the interior is. We've driven this truck like 600 miles already, and we've navigated to a lot of places, and it just does a good job. So to finish up, we'll do one last acceleration. The diesel engine, you got that torque. It makes it more fun to drive, and it feels like an HD truck. Getting up to speed, 3,000 RPM, it's shifting, and it's just an effortless power delivery getting you up and going. So to me, I think a Duramax 1500 is the way to go. Trail Boss, I don't know if I would really go for it. I would probably rather spend the extra maybe $10,000 probably and get into maybe a ZR2 if that's available with a Duramax, or get like a High Country and just do my own lift kit, wheels and tires. So if the Trail Boss could have a little bit extra special touch, it'd be perfect. Overall though, can't complain with this truck, and I think if you're looking for a truck of this size, the Silverado is something to look at. So that is it then for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. I'll see you all in the next video.